Good morning. This is Margaret Fetty, and it's time for Facebook Live at the University of Sewing. So today is Saturday, and we had snow when we got up. Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that. But you know, I should just be thinking about when I was a kid. There was always a Easter from time to time that would have snow, and we're not to Easter yet, so I guess it's just the way things go. So I hope you are having a very relaxed and warm and cuddly morning as you get up on Saturday. I wanted to start off here because I am thinking about spring, and I hope you are too. And we have all these lovely fabrics that I don't know if you've thought about recently because of the cold weather, but it's time to think about spring. We have lovely flowers. This wonderful group of flowers is from it's called Modern Love. It's from Northcott, and it is a really gorgeous line. There's some fabrics in here that are, there's a border print. What a great fabric to go ahead and make yourself a cute summer skirt. Or if you're just a quilter, we have this really pretty pattern called Floral Flourish, and it uses that panel so that you can go ahead and we can put a kit together of this if you're really liking this. I think it's a really beautiful group of fabrics, and it just makes me happy. So think about it for maybe a wedding gift, because it's not that hard to do. It's all just squares. So I'm sure that you can handle it, and it seems like it'd make a pretty quick and happy wedding present for somebody. Below it, we have some Rifle Paper Company, and we do love our RJR fabrics. And this group of fabrics has got a really pretty spring vibe to it that I think you'll really like. The fabric on the end is a wonderful canvas fabric. So make yourself a great tote bag to start off spring and get ready to go out, and we get to see the world again, it seems like. Okay, so you know, every Friday and Saturday, we try to remember to bring some sort of thing to give away so that you will share our videos. And when we do that, and when you share, it has really helped everybody get to know about us. And what I mean by everybody getting to know about us is that we have now shipped to all 50 states. And that's because of you guys. And it's really just so fun to get to meet people, even just through emails and talking to them on the phone and helping them get whatever they need. All 50 states in the country. It is really, I mean, I never dreamed that we would, when we started all of this, it's really funny because when, before COVID happened, I thought, well, if we get any orders online, that'll be nice. It never occurred to me to think that we would ship to all 50 states. So thank you, each and every one of you, for sharing. And
you mean people like Mariana, Brenda, and Julia?
Yes, like all of them.
Do you have a giveaway today?
Well, I'm thinking about that for a minute here because I forgot about it until I started talking. So I'm going to come up with something here. Although you guys can make a suggestion. I'll listen to your suggestions. We could do a little fat quarter bundle if you want, or I've got some really cute patterns. So Saturday mornings is all about the fabric and what we have here. So you guys, you can tell me if there's something. Now you can't pick like, you know, a maxi hoop or something. I can't do that. But if you have some ideas, I'm sure Dave will let me in on it. So we'll go ahead. We're going to come over this way. And what we're going to do this morning, oh, I know what we can give them, Dave. I know. This would be a really, really cute. Look at this. This says, "A great joy I bring you, good tidings of," and this is a wonderful saying here, and it's a Riley Blake fabric from the She Who Sews fabric line, and it's a little panel, and this can be yours. So if you would share today, make sure you make a comment saying that you shared, and make sure you do share on Facebook, and we will be happy to send you this lovely panel. I love the She Who Sews panels and patterns. They're so adorable. And we have a yard bundle group of those. We have 5-inch squares of them. And we've got some other things on order. We'll see if they come in or not. We do have some individuals, and we don't have them written up online. So what you can kind of see with Dave here doing the wonderful photography is there's some really cute ones here. So if you see something in these groups that you like, including, we have the actual panel here. So if you, the big panel that's over on the door, Dave, and we have the one that has the calendars on it and the tape measures and so forth. And so this is the panel. We have a couple of those available. So if you would like any of those, you're gonna need to call us on these though, because like I said, I didn't get these all put out. They've been selling pretty well inside the store. So if you guys see one of these, the calendar goes to 2023. You've got this wonderful gal riding her bike. I really like that a whole lot. I think that's a lot of fun. So if there's any of these that you see from this particular, what we're showing you this morning, you can give us a call. And remember, you can watch it again so that you can see if there's one you want. So those are all $12.95, just so that you have an idea. Okay, so we're going to talk about interfacing today. So interfacing is a big deal when you are making clothing, when you are making bags, and I even have some stabilizer here by the yard for embroiderers. So we're going to talk about this a little bit, and I'm going to go through some different kinds here. This is what we've got. It's a huge selection, and it is interesting because I carry some things that you won't see in other places, I'm pretty sure. Unless you find someplace that really just totally supports clothing sewing and has a huge selection of your interfacings, that is not common to find a lot of this stuff. For starters, we do have pattern-ease. And pattern-ease is a product from HTC Retail. And what it is it is a material that you can trace your patterns onto. You can actually sew this. It is a 60-inch wide piece of what they call a fiber web, which means that you can trace your patterns, you can actually sew this, and you can try it on. Which is an interesting concept, and I am not always a huge fan of it because it's really stiff and it doesn't always give you the best idea of what your clothes are going to look like. But what I do love it for is because of the fabric and how it's made, and it's really hard to tear. Because of that, I do like to copy my patterns onto this because it makes them much more a sturdy pattern than my usual tissue paper. So I do like it for that. It is only $2.35 a yard, and it is a wonderful product. We've got quite a bit in the store right now. So if this is something you think you would like, don't forget you can go online. And again, it's called pattern-ease. Now, I am going to tell you about a couple things I've got that aren't on the website.
And Brenda commented that the pattern-ease is good for collage quilts.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that, Brenda. That's a wonderful idea. Yeah, that would be a really good way to use that. Because it's not going to have, it's going to have a nice stability for you, and you can move things around on it. And using like Steam-A-Seam 2 with it, if you're not familiar with that product, I think we can, I didn't even think about this one until she mentioned that. But Steam-A-Seam 2 is right over here, and we have the light version of it. And this stuff is really cool because if you want to do collage quilts or you want to do any kind of applique, what you can do is you can put this on your fabric, you can cut out the shapes, and then when you're sure where you want it, it has like kind of a sticky side to it, you can put the shape wherever you want, and then when you're sure, you iron it in place and you're good to go. It's really nice product. So let's go back. I'm going to try to reel us back in here. We have a couple of things that aren't on the website because I actually only have a small amount of them, and they're not usually a big deal for most people unless you actually need them. We have some 100% cotton organza. And cotton organza is a really interesting product. It's very sheer, it's very stiff, but it's 100% cotton. And it's $22 a yard, so you really want to make sure you're using it for something that is appropriate. What it is perfect for is a sew-in interfacing in something like maybe a cotton lawn or silk that you want to have some stiffness in a collar or cuffs, and you want to make sure that what it is washable and that it is going to give you that crispness without any fusible. So that's a really nice product. We also have some cotton lawn in our regular things that we have in the store, and that also can work. Similar pricing on that, and it's a little bit bigger. So you might look at that. It's a Robert Kaufman fabric. We have silk organza. Again, the silk organza, we have it in these two colors. This is used in the same kind of idea that you would use it as a sew-in interfacing. And you would use it maybe in collars or cuffs. You would use it for something that is going to work. You're not going to use this for your run-of-the-mill clothes. You're probably going to do this in something a little bit nicer. Cotton organza runs, this particular, we bought this a while ago. We don't have a lot of this, but it's only $7.50 a yard. So it really is stiff, and it works really well for some things. If you're not sure and you want to know if it's going to work for your project, just give me a call or email me, and I'll be happy to let you know if that's something that makes sense for you. All right, so now we just have some regular good premium cottons that we are going to suggest for mock-ups. We would suggest it for doing any kind of sew-in interfacing where you need something heavier. This is not something lightweight. It has some body to it. It's 45 inches wide. They run from anywhere from $5 to $5.50 a yard, and it's just cotton. And yes, you could use something like Kona cotton or our RJR cotton, but I like this or our RJR better than some of the other brands out there because they don't wrinkle as much. So it's not going to be as hard to use it. Now I'm getting to the stuff that's really unusual. This is 45-inch wide woven fusible interfacing. Most of the interfacings out on the market are 22 inches wide, and this is a really, really good, almost like that cotton I just showed you, but a little bit lighter weight, but it has the fusible on it. So when you are looking for something like in a button-down shirt, you're using a good quality cotton and you want something nice for your interfacing, something like this is going to be beautiful. We carry it just in white at the moment. I'm going to look and see if we can't get it in black also. It's 45 inches wide and it's fusible, so it makes things a lot easier. So this will be good in your bags. You can use this in a bag that you don't want it to be super stiff, but you want it to have a nice body to it. This would be great for that. So we have that. Then what we have is, this is a weft interfacing. At the moment, we just have it in black, but I also get it in a neutral color also, like a kind of a beige. It is fusible, and this is what they use a lot of times in tailoring. It's really soft, but it creates a tremendous amount of body without a lot of stiffness. So this sometimes is a really good product depending on what it is you're trying to do. But most of the time, it says it's both machine washable and dry cleanable. It's called Heat and Bond Medium Weight Charcoal interfacing. So this one is only the 22 inches wide, which is why it's only $5 a yard. Oh, the other, that 45-inch wide interfacing, it's only $7.50 a yard. So, excuse me, $7.98 a yard. So it's a really good deal. When you're having to, like this right here is a bosal, and it's almost identical to what I just showed you with that 45-inch wide. But this is only 22 inches wide, and it's $7.50 a yard. So that 45-inch wide is a really good deal. Okay. Another thing for those of you who do some tailoring, we carry hair canvas. The only kind I carry at the moment is the fusible. And so if you don't want it to be fusible, then I don't have that in stock right at the moment. You can ask us if that's something you're really looking for, but right now I only have it in the fusible. It makes it easier. I don't mind doing some of the stitching on my canvases, but boy, this sure does save me a lot of time. So I do like the fusible. And you just have to be careful with your fabric. Always test your interfacings on a scrap of your fabric before you put it on there, because it might turn out to be stiffer than you want, and that's a disaster. You can always add more to give more stiffness, but once you put something on there that makes it too stiff, it's really a mess. Knit, oh, excuse me, this is not a knit. That was really funny. I was thinking this was a knit, but this is actually a woven, and it's an extremely sheer woven and really lightweight. So if you're doing something with chiffon or silk, this might be a really good solution for you. It is a heat and bond product. It's also called it says fusible interfacing. And so what you've got here is they call it ultra soft woven fusible for batik fabrics. So if you're working with a batik and you want it to have a really soft hand, but you want it to have some more stiffness, this is a great product. And see how sheer it is? I can see Dave through it. So it's really nice. And again, do not hesitate to ask us if you're not sure if one of these are going to work right for you. All right, so we have knits. Now, I have 3 different knits to show you. 2 of them are 60-inch wide, and they're a little bit different. This one is a little bit stiffer, has a more, what is the word I'm looking, more stable hand to it. But then I have this black and 60-inch wide that's super soft. Super soft, very nice. A lot of your kind of deconstructed jackets that you just want some interfacing, something to make it just a little bit more stable. This might be a perfect solution, but it's very soft. And this one is a trico 60-inch wide knit. And you know what? These other 2 are also, but they do have a more stiff hand. So this one is another bosal product, and it's only 20 inches wide, and it's the one that's stiffer. Then I have this one, and this is one from Stable Sewing Aids, and it is a trico, but it's also really a much stiffer product, much more like this 20-inch wide black. So I don't have a super soft white one. This one's just, it's a lot more stable and a lot stiffer. So use these, where it seems appropriate. And yes, these are perfect for your knit garments if you want to put them in your hem. We also carry a 1-inch and 2-inch wide knit trico interfacing that you can just buy that way. So if you just want to get, say 10 yards of it, and then whenever you put a zipper in or whenever you're doing something small, you have the perfect size and you don't have to cut it. So that makes a ton of sense. Okay, so let's get those out of the way, and I'm making a mess over here. So look at that. I dropped it on the floor and you can tell. Little threads all over it. So, all right. So the last ones I've got here to show you, because we are running out of time. And don't forget, you can win that panel if you go ahead and put, if you share our Facebook Live with your friends. Go ahead and hit share on Facebook and then put in the comments that you shared. And we will put your name in for that really cute She Who Sews panel. Okay, this stuff, can you tell how stiff it is? It's called Durafuse, and it is perfect for your bags. It is just absolutely perfect. So this is something that is really, it's got a fusible surface right here. That's why it's kind of shiny. And then you can use this for any kind of a bag. Or if you're doing something very dramatic with a collar, this might be the solution for you. But go ahead and test it before you decide to do that. This is actually pretty reasonable. It's only $5.35 a yard, and it is the 22 inches wide. Okay, these right here are all embroidery stabilizer by the yard. So what we've got is 3 different kinds. So this one in the middle, you can see it's really thick and heavy. It's a medium weight stabilizer. It's a tearaway. And this you can get by the yard, so that's pretty nice. It seems like that always saves you money. This is only $3.91 a yard, so I think that's a pretty good price for stabilizer. Then we have a sew-in stabilizer. This is a sew-in, but it is a tearaway, and it's called Stitch and Sew, and it's a heavyweight. So that one's gonna be, that's like up, this one's your medium, this one's your heavy. Then we have what's called Peel and Stick Stabilizer. This one is only $5 a yard, and you can stick this just where you need it in your hoop so that you can go ahead and use that in stabilizers. And I'm gonna stop talking about this because Alice knows much more about it than I do, and she will tell you when to use that. So, but those all 3 are just for embroidery. Or decorative stitching. You could use the tearaway for decorative stitching. Okay, then we have, you guys all have heard of Wonder Under. Well, we have Heat and Bond and Wonder Under. So Wonder Under right here, just the typical stuff you've been used to seeing for years. Then we have a Heat and Bond, and this is a Heat and Bond. It is called Featherweight, which means that it's not gonna put a ton of the sticky stuff. It's very easy to sew through. It's not going to put a ton of glue anywhere. Be careful to read the instructions. We will send them with you if you purchase it, because you can get your iron too hot and that glue will just melt away. Same thing's true with Steam-A-Seam. And this is Heat and Bond Soft Stretch. So you can use this if you're going to put like an applique on a knit garment or something like that. This works really well for that. That's why we got this, because it is set up for knits. But you have to be really careful that you don't get your iron too hot, because the glue will just melt away, which is really annoying. And then you end up having to redo it. And I've been that place before. So all of these are really good for that. Oh, you know that white interfacing, the woven interfacing that's 45 inches wide that we talked about a while ago here? It's perfect for t-shirt quilts if you like to stabilize them beforehand. Although, I'm going to just point out that if you have a serger, you don't have to do that. You can put your whole t-shirt quilt, sew it on your serger, and you don't have to use any stabilizer if you don't want to. It's a big job with t-shirt quilts, is to do all that stabilizing. But if you are particular in that you want to do a stabilized t-shirt quilt, that woven interfacing, the white woven interfacing that's 45 inches wide, or actually even those knit ones aren't a bad choice. You can go ahead and do those perfectly. So it turns out it is almost 10 o'clock, and I can tell we've got people already wanting to come in, so I'm going to get going here today. I hope you'll come and visit us, and we will look forward to seeing you at Facebook Live next week. Don't forget to go to the website and check out all these interfacings. I know we have what you need. So, universityofsewing.com, and we will see you next week for Facebook Live.